Hi everyone, this is Ann Huffman. I'm just trying to play around with the new 4.1 version of Silhouette Studios. I was in love with version 3.6.57, and so it's just getting used to finding where the tools are now. So I figured while I'm at it, I will show a few of you that have asked how to put the words inside of the afro. I'm not going to concentrate as much on getting the tracing part right. I just want to be able to show you the technique and how to get that done. So I've highlighted it. My version is, let's see, help, about 4.1.201. And of course, I have the business edition, but I'm thinking that what I'm going to use should be available in the basic edition that comes with the cutting machine. So, anyway, the trace tool is here. I'm just going to select my trace area. And again, I'm not really trying to get the tracing down so good there. I do all of my tracing mainly in Inkscape because I'm just not a fan of Silhouette's tracing feature, but that's a whole different soapbox. So let's go ahead and get started here. Just going to click on it so that I can shrink it down and sort of out of the way, and let me move some of this out of the way. Those are some more tutorials that I plan to get to. Hopefully I will have enough time over this holiday weekend. So let's just go ahead and fill it with some color, make it more realistic. So now we have it. So the very thing that you want to do at this point, because it is now traced, I'm just going to move this over to the side for a little bit, is let's type in some words. So I'm just going to grab that text tool, and I'll use the word naturally, whatever you want to use. Now size does matter when you select your word, because one, you want to be able to trace it, not trace it, you want to be able to weed it, but you also want it to be seen as well. So I'm not going to stay with this Arial. I'm going to go with, it's called Chunk 5EX, which is a little bit thicker. And I'll go ahead and give it a color, and I'll color the lines as well. Just looks a lot fresher to me that way. So what we want to do is, in order to get the word naturally to take on the shape of her fro, we're going to need to create something that's a shape that's similar to that design. So I'm going to go over here and click on the tool for the ellipse, or the circle as I call it. And normally I would hold the shift key down and drag it so that, you know, the dimension, it would make a perfect circle, but that's not what I want, because I don't want a perfect circle. Just want to get something going here. And I'm a fan of color. I have to have things in color, so bear with me on that. So what I want to do actually is, I'll bring her head down some, is I want to try to duplicate the shaping of how this part of her head is. So, you know, drag it down some. And this is where you have to play around with it, because you need to get this as close to that type of an arc as you possibly can, because that's just so important. Because the next thing that we're going to do is go back to the words and double click on it. When we see these little crosshairs here, we want to drag it down to the circle. And I probably didn't do this word large enough, so I'm going to drag it back up here, and let's make it a little bigger. that might be better. So double click it, grab the crosshairs, I'm dragging it down to the circle. Yeah, that looks a whole lot better. So maybe right there is what's going to work for me. And so I'm going to click my circle now and right click on it. That doesn't, my circle, I hope that's what I have. Holding the shift key down, I'll click on the word. I'm going to convert it to a path. Well, go back a step. Let me group it. Just take it over here to the side. And now that I have it grouped, now I'll convert it to a path so that I can keep slipping off of there. Let me make the word a path first. Convert it to a path because I want to just move this circle out of the way. So I'll go ahead and delete that circle. And now I'll move the word back over here. Let's move her afro up. Now that I've converted this to a path, I can't do much to it as far as bending it anymore. I can make it larger, small, I can ungroup it. It's basically an image, but this software calls it a path. So we're just going to say that this is the exact length that we want it to be. And with it highlighted, I'm going to hold the shift key down and click on the entire image. And I'm going over to my modify window, which is also under panels in the new version. But what I want to do is subtract all. Looks like it didn't do anything, but it did. And now we have that word. And that's how they place whatever words that they want to go inside of the afro. You could have done several rows or whatever. The same thing is this technique here. Let me just delete this out of the way. This is the same technique here. All they did was type out various words. Let me make this larger. They typed out their various words in different fonts, and they just placed them where they wanted them to go, and they probably selected all of them and grouped all of them. But the technique that they used, whether they did it all at once or one by one, was to select the trace image and the word and go to modify and subtract all. I don't know if I can get a decent trace out of this, but we shall see. And that way I can show it to you better than I can tell you. It's not the best, but we'll just go with it. And let's give that some color. And I'll just do a couple of words just to show you what I was saying in there. Font over here. I think there's something. There's that curly font. And so let me just give it some color so you can have a better idea. And that's if she wanted to put it somewhere close there. Let's type another one. Beauty. Of course, whoever created this one probably made it a larger size, and then they reduced the size later. So let's just grab something else that looks a little different. Okay, give it some color. That might fit somewhere evenly down there. Let's just see. I know that I can click on one word, hold the shift key down, and then click on the image, go to modify and subtract all, and I know that beauty is going to come out of that. What I want to try and find out is, let me just go back. step here. Yep, okay. Is to put this here, and I'm going to hold the shift key down and click curly. I think I see the square around it. Just want to see if that works. I don't know if it does or not. It may have. If it does, that's great. And it does. So you can do multiple words at a time. So you can go ahead and position all your words everywhere that you want them to go. You can use the rotating handle. And let's see, I think I got enough time left on this that I can, I'll just duplicate this word for the essence of time. And what I mean by that handle is to grab it and then just rotate it around to where you want it so that it fits. So now we know that, wow, hold on, that we can highlight all of the objects and go to the modify window and subtract all. And now you can see the beginning of what's going on with this particular design. I hope this helps someone. I'm going to try and finish some of my other designs. One other one, let me, while I still have the recorder going, just to show you, is that likewise, like with Africa, let's trace it. Let's give some color. I'm going to hold the shift key down and shrink it down some size here because I just want it to be able to fit inside her head, because I know you've seen some of these as well. And so whether it's a word or it's another object or another image that's inside of an object, just hold it all down. I think I grabbed this word. Just select all of it. Go to the modify and subtract all. And now you have that. And so that's really how easy it is. So I hope this helps someone out. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to post them. Thanks for watching.